Stage 20. You got your trophy for
second stage.
Second stage.
18 days later.
Most competitive rider in the individual time trial.
The individual time trial. The fans voted. It was Simon Yates, Mathieu van der Poel, Tobias Bayer and me, and guess what? I won. So now 18 days later I got my combativity award and I'm very proud of that one. It's sponsored by the highway of Italy, Autostrada, the Autobahn from Germany.
Where's it going to go in your house?
It's gonna go in my clubhouse. Clubhouse. I'm gonna put it there just to motivate all the people. Like, if you have dreams, you can achieve them, like I did. Stage 2, the lion was hungry, and when the lion is hungry, he eats. But since then, he was fed up. He wasn't hungry anymore. So that was the end of the race. So that's why you didn't see anything afterwards from me.
Right. Well, stage 20. We're into the 20s. Everyone's tired, but one more stage, then a TT. It's a hilly one, it's a really hilly one. We're gonna help them out getting the break, and then we're gonna survive.
You're sure you're gonna survive?
I'm sure I'm gonna survive. How sure are you?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure.
Stage 20. Tired Alex. Tired Rick. Tired Matthias. Tired everyone.
I feel good.
Andy feels great. When there's no sprints, Andy's on holiday. Yeah, Andy's on holiday.
And the best part of my day was the last 5 kilometers.
I have to say, actually, the last 5 kilometers was quite nice today, huh? With the fans.
I think
the climb was not nice, but the fans
were nice. I have 200, and on the top I had 2 minutes advantage because I say always push me, push me, push me, and then they were pushing me through. You have like all my group got pissed on me because I dropped because other people pushed me so hard.
Did you tell them all to follow you on Instagram as well?
I do already, most of them. But for me, I can tell my biggest goal was that Matthias never dropped me in the Giro, and I achieved it.
You're mad, but for me at the moment you're a bit on an ego trip. Like your teammates are around
look, he's
just going, yeah.
Today, 3 weeks I stayed with Matthias. 3 weeks. I didn't stay, I wait for him. Yes. But today was time to make a statement. Just to show where my real level is. It's like 2 minutes ahead of the competitor.
After a load of pushing. Matthias actually came up to me and went, today was easier than I expected. And I was like, yeah, it was. Hindley.
Giro is done.
Giro should be done. So that's more or less the Giro done. All bar a 17-kilometer TT, and it feels good to finish. But I'm not sure it was worth it. Like, I'm getting to the point with Grand Tours being so hard that I'm not entirely sure that the happiness of finishing outweighs the bit in the middle. We're going to enjoy it regardless. We got a 3-hour transfer now, and then we got burgers. Like, I'll have to refuel for tomorrow anyway because got a TT. Paul Branley. Fred, he had me. He had me. And Cataford. Paul Branley.
Today you were his best friend.
Yeah, but you came late when you realize Paul Branley's alone.
Branley the victim all the time. Anyway, TT time.
This is the route they'll be taking on. 17.4 kilometres, very similar to the time trial that closed out the edition, won by Carapaz 3 years previous. The climb up to Torricella Massimiliane and the finish in the Verona Arena.
It's the final day of the Giro. TT day. Rain is threatening, so that could have an impact on some, not others, races, quite technical. So if you get dry roads versus wet roads, that's going to make a massive difference. Luckily for GC boys, are all at the end. Might be the case that specialists spread throughout, like guys that can win this, people like Thomas de Gent, Van der Poel, Matthias Branley. You could have some different conditions. Everything is set up, mechanics are busy. I'm just having some padding put in on my bars because I've got, after my off the other day, my elbow hurts a bit on them and I'm being soft, so Asked for just a bit of padding on there. You know, this guy has won 18 professional races.
Basically more
19
than the whole
of
bus together.
19 of that's a lie, because no, that's true. Is it true? I'm on 15, 16, 17. Dema, we haven't got Dema.
But Dema was yesterday not in the bus, so that's why we don't count.
How many of those are Austrian TT champ titles?
Maybe
like
8.
17?
Maybe 8.
Oh.
Maybe 8. No, I was a good bike rider.
I mean, the population of Austria is less than like Rick's region, so.
No, we're basically 8 millions. I think we have to see how many motor riders he has. So you know, that's for me the.
Jai Hindley racing right now, hearing that Carapaz has been tailed off is. Oh, I can't imagine it is very easy for him. Hell of a ride though, and Jai Hindley's a really nice guy, which helps. I'm not saying Carapaz isn't, just Jai is like, if I see him in the bunch, he'll ask me how my Giro's going, and I'm like, I am surviving. He's like, no,
doing
good.
a different race.
He's like, on the mountain day, he's like, oh, good luck today, man. I'm like, yep, just gonna get to the finish. You too, try and win the Giro. Yeah, super nice guy, which is cool. Oh, look at his dancing shoes are back. You're not taking today seriously though, are you, Matthias?
No, it's just because they are like, the cleats are way closer to my feet.
Yeah.
That's why if I would use the other shoes, then I need to change also saddle height.
Yeah.
That's why for TT I use just basically always these shoes.
Yeah. Final day, TT. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. A little bit unfair on the specialist to put a hill in it. But yeah. It's been, all in all, I reckon it's been a pretty good Giro for like racing. Yeah. That's the end of the Giro. Pretty underwhelming TT from me today. Very careful with what I say about kind of knowing what's going to happen before it happens, because it's sometimes I've surprised myself, but more often than not what I know is in the tank is what is in the tank. The second half of this week I've struggled a bit, just a bit empty, especially at the start of, in the first hour of racing. I've just had this sensation where I'm trying to breathe in as much air as possible and it's just not, I don't know, it's just not getting to the legs. Not sure why. 3 weeks of rock solid racing is tough. It's really tough. It's kind of been a funny feeling after Giacomo left the Giro, because he was what we came for. He was in like Milan San Remo and Tirreno in scintillating form, and we got a third on one stage, but it wasn't what we wanted from the Giro. We were aiming for the Ciclamino jersey and stage wins. Ultimately, we came away with a third place. Yeah, once he left, it was kind of a case of us finishing, trying to get Demarchi in the break, which didn't happen. I mean, my thoughts on the Giro actually, as a whole, as a race, I think it's really improved since 2020. I think, in 2020 we had such long stages that it really dulled down the racing. Breakaways were just allowed to sort of float off the front and win the race. There was no riders were just, I think, that tired they wanted easier days. Whereas here, I think with the shorter stages, the more intelligently designed stages from the Giro organisation has produced much better racing and has meant like we've all been racing it as opposed to just riding it at times. Breakaways have been super tough to get into, starts have been really hard, and with the GC battle, you can see at the front teams have taken big risks, put their balls on the line, especially Bora and Bahrain, to really chuck everything at it, and I think from that perspective it's been a fascinating Giro. Today's TT didn't shake anything up in the GC. Sobrero won, which was he was one of the favourites for sure, but absolutely stunning ride. Really stunning. Some huge time gaps in the top 10, which I think for the final stage of a Grand Tour with a climb in it isn't overly surprising, to be honest, because everyone's tired, and I think tiredness, different levels of fatigue really stretch out the differences. For me, my TT, I just had that same breathing, legs problem. I chucked everything at it, and I knew after probably about the first kilometre of the climb that I couldn't do the numbers up the climb that were needed. No amount of clever riding, efficiency and aero actually gets you over a 4K 5% climb with the big boys. So that was that, and then on the downhill I just took zero risks. My Minuteman I could see him at the top of the climb. Giacomo Guarneri from France de Giro. I had him in sight at the top of the climb, and he actually then beat me. It was a wet downhill. I was a little bit nervous after my crash the other day in the wet, and just took zero risks at all. And then there was a pavé section, which in an ideal world you'd have got back in the tuck, but I was just with this from the crash. It was a bit sore. Knew I wasn't going to win. Knew I was a long way off the win. Take any risks and just rolled it in and enjoyed the crowds and the Verona arena that we rode into after the finish. It was quite spectacular, which is the Giro. They like. It's very grand day. But yeah, we all said our goodbyes after the stage. There was no sort of team dinner was last night. There's no like team dinner to mark the end of the Giro. We all we're all in different airport hotels or already on a plane home. I'm on my way to Germany for the sub-7, but I'm going to be taking a good few days off in the run-up to it, so that's exciting. And then, yeah, I think I mentioned in the previous video, busy June in terms of racing, so I'll hopefully capitalise off the form that you get off of a Grand Tour, and likely a quiet July whilst the Tour de France is on. As ever, keep you updated. I hope you've enjoyed this series of videos. Probably put together highlights of the Giro, but it's been the thing like with this team. I know we've struggled. Let's not beat around the bush. This team is struggling at the moment, but you know the team morale, the team spirit is all there, and that's half the battle sometimes. So I think it's going to come. It is going to come for us. But yeah, thanks for joining along for the ride, and probably almost certainly be knocking out a couple of videos from the sub-7 attempt.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Giro vlog.
Been a European champion and Italian. What is this? What is this?
Start to be so intelligent.
Ladies and gentlemen, send them on their way. Give them a big reception. Israel, Premier Tech.
Afterwards, you're always more clever, they say in Germany.
And then here's... Oh, no, you're not meant to see that cupboard. What do you reckon to today, Rick? So we're over the halfway mark in this Giro d'Italia.
After tour, you can say we're over half. And I would say time-wise, we haven't hit.
Elevation-wise?
How is it possible that one person has more than a whole team? Phoebe?
Stage 13, Rick's... Oh, hello.
I lost something.
Today was a day I really want to forget, so best is to drink.
It's a long weekend, so yeah. Isn't every stage kind of a breakaway or a sprint?
Today's going to be a breakaway or a sprint, like every bike race in the history of bike racing.